Joe Rogan just went all in on Nancy Pelosi with no-holds-barred takedown. You want to hear this? On his latest podcast, Joe took a hard look at Pelosi's alleged insider trading and used the moment to rip into the entire political class.
You see the Nancy Pelosi thing? And as a goober, he sneaks it in. She's like, I came in here to talk about the anniversary of Medicaid. Like, she cares about it.
That's what we're breaking down today. No blind loyalty to any party, just plain common sense. If you like thinking for yourself, hit that subscribe button and let's get started.
Look at like who's making money on the stock market. It is not all Nancy Pelosi. It is red, blue, red, blue, red, blue.
Now, here's the situation. Nancy Pelosi has been promoting something called the Pelosi Act, a bill designed to ban members of Congress from engaging in insider trading. You couldn't make this up. Pelosi herself doesn't hold stock, but her husband Paul does, and very successfully. Their joint net worth is estimated at around $413 million. Now, there's nothing wrong with making money, but here's the catch. Pelosi has spent her entire career in public service. So where's all that wealth coming from? When reporters pressed her on the subject, she quickly brushed it aside and switched the topic to Donald Trump.
Nancy Pelosi thing? The new one?
She was being interviewed and then was like, I didn't want to talk about that.
Anderson Cooper. You put that on. Anderson Cooper, he sneaks it in. She's like, I came in here to talk about the anniversary of Medicaid. Like, she cares about Medicaid. Here, let's watch this because it's so funny.
Let me just read what he said. I'm sorry that we had some sort of technical issue. Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
But I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous.
Rogan immediately noticed that move, calling it classic projection. He pointed out how Pelosi avoided a direct answer by shifting the blame, making herself the victim instead of dealing with a straightforward question.
The president has his own exposure, so he's always projecting. He's always projecting. And let's not give him any more time on that, please. We're going forward here, and I'm very proud of my family. And while he might make fun of us, while somebody inspired by him breaks into our home and hits my husband in a deadly fashion, hits my husband over the head, and he thinks that's a riot, I'd rather not go into some of my other complaints about him right now. Rather to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid.
Okay. First of all, what crazy projection. She immediately turned herself into a victim. She immediately went from Jake Tapper's like, what's your response? Oh, this is ridiculous. Nothing was insider.
And he's right. Did you notice how Jake Tapper didn't challenge her or push for a follow-up? If he had, things could have gotten heated fast. The truth is, there's no shortage of examples here. The Pelosis have a long track record of perfectly timed stock trades. Just last year, they dumped Microsoft shares a few months before the FTC launched an investigation. Coincidence? Maybe. Then they sold off Visa stock only 3 months before the DOJ filed a lawsuit. And those are only 2 cases. There's a whole list of trades that match up suspiciously well with government action. That's exactly what Joe dug into. So let's listen to his angle.
So nuts that you have gone from... You made an insane amount of money. A lot of people say you're insider trading. What's your response to Donald Trump? My husband got hit in the head with a hammer.
They're all black belts at deflection.
He thinks it's funny. It's because it's all because the president has a lot of exposure.
Here's how Rogan broke it down with numbers. Last year alone, Pelosi's investments shot up 54%, outperforming even some of the biggest hedge funds. That's not just luck. That's practically a Wall Street miracle. And Pelosi isn't the only one. According to The Independent, more than 20 other members of Congress managed to nearly double the S&P 500's average gain of 24.9%. And let's be clear, this isn't about one political party. Lawmakers on both sides are pulling off these unbelievable returns.
When you look at the decisions, like she dumped stock and then 3 months later, some big bill comes down the line that fucks that company.
Yeah.
She buys stock and then 3 months later, some big bill that comes down that, they're funding for this new project. It's crazy. More than a dozen U.S. officials sold stocks before Trump's tariffs sent the market plunging. Of course they did. Watching the panic in her face, realizing that Trump is now president, and they're talking about literally going after her for insider trading, and the undeniable evidence that they have had better results on the stock market than literally anyone ever.
Yeah.
And they have access to information about laws that are going to be passed.
Yeah.
If that's not insider trading, what the fuck is?
But Joe's bigger point isn't just about Nancy Pelosi. It's about the entire system. He's asking the obvious question. How do so many members of Congress, who live on government salaries, somehow leave office with enormous, life-changing wealth?
There's a reason why that whole ability to trade stocks is still in position. And it's because they want it there. They make a ton of money. The general
they have all
public,
the insider information.
So they have to figure out at what point in time is this too dangerous, and who's willing to like make this a law. It's like they're playing chicken. Like as long as they don't do it,
Yeah.
as long as they don't do it, then they can still make a ton of money. But if you look at the numbers, like if you look at like who's making money on the stock market, it is not all Nancy Pelosi. It is red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. It's pretty much down the middle.
Sure, some politicians come into office already wealthy. It's practically a club for millionaires. But what really makes people suspicious is how often their fortunes skyrocket after they're elected. And not by small amounts. We're talking massive jumps. Some of that can be explained by book deals or speeches. Sure, but let's be honest. Try telling even a child there's nothing shady happening. Even Elon Musk has called this out, and in typical Elon fashion, he didn't hold back.
You're hanging out with Harry, the senator from in South Dakota or whatever, and Harry's got a yacht. Like, how'd you get a yacht, Harry?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Bobby's got his own private jet. How'd you get your own jet, Bob? You're a congressman. Like, what are you doing? And those people that are able to generate that kind of wealth, and I think she's like the poster girl for it, unfortunately, but it's not her. Like, who's made the most?
And while Musk's criticism was aimed at politicians in general, it hits especially hard when you look at Nancy Pelosi and her husband, Paul. Their stock trades have been scrutinized for years, and people keep asking the same questions.
Oh, there's plenty of conservative that are insider trading in Congress.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Insider trading, and just there's the curious case of how do people in Congress or whatever become wealthy over time?
Extremely wealthy.
Yes.
On a $170,000 a year salary.
It's like literally impossible.
Yeah. No one else does that.
It's literally impossible.
If you find out this guy has a $170,000 a year job, you're like, oh, he's doing okay. He's all right.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait a minute, why does he have $50 million?
Yes.
What is he doing?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think like the more accurate thing would be to say like, what is the family value?
The deeper you look, the messier it gets. The timing of these trades raises serious doubts. And it's clearly not just one couple. It's a bigger pattern, a system where money and political power constantly feed off each other. So, is it really just luck that so many members of Congress suddenly turn into financial geniuses? Or is it proof of something much bigger and much more troubling?